Hello, everyone. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. A storm system is blasting parts of the Black Hills and the mountains in the Rockies of Wyoming and Montana, heading across portions of the Central Plains and will work its way into southern Minnesota. Your forecast is beginning right now, and we're going to focus on the forecast, where this storm is going to track, the timing, how much snow it could have. For our area, we're going to miss the brunt of this system. I'll have details on what we can expect as well. Bring your questions. Hutch's weather begins right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, we're going to start with this broad view of the forecast right quick as this storm system that is taking shape right now, exiting the mountains of Colorado. Here's the low pressure center. It's scooping air from the central and southern plains, bringing that warm, humid air up into the northern plains, and then it starts throwing that air back up into the elevated terrain. That's called upslope, and that causes the air masses here to cool, condense, and create clouds and showers of snow, and it's getting pretty heavy out there. So as we take a look, the low pressure center out here in Garden City and Hays, Kansas, heavy rain, thunder, and look at Denver down here, expected by tonight at 8 to 10 o'clock Central Time to start seeing heavy bands of snow mixing with ice. This will make its way quickly into the panhandle of Nebraska, southeast Wyoming, right on the I-80 corridor here. Here's the I-76 corridor down into Denver. This area should be getting hit pretty heavy tonight as we go into the evening hours. So as we set this into motion, what you're going to notice is that low pressure center will continue to slowly trek its way off to the east. I think I may have pressed on something I did not mean to. So we'll let this load up. In the meantime, as it's doing so, you're going to see it taking the snow, the heavy band of snow, and very gusty winds right now, sneaking out into the high plains of Kansas, Nebraska. Much of central Nebraska gets missed with the worst of the snow. It does look like it will focus more on southern and eastern Nebraska, Grand Island, and into Omaha as it works its way through. This will have impacts through most of Iowa and southern and eastern parts of Minnesota, south of the Twin Cities and towards Rochester. Some areas in the heavy band here could see upwards of 8 inches or more of very heavy wet snow making its way into the region. Here is a look at the latest watches and warnings. There's a blizzard warning extending from Colorado through Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and southern Minnesota. Areas south of Sioux Falls, but into Sioux City, that's where it begins. Now, this system's already getting to going out there in the Rocky Mountains, and look what's going on as we look out into the Black Hills. Heavy snow where we have warnings in around Spearfish, Gillette, Sheridan, Wyoming, all the way up to Hardin in those mountains south of Billings. So that's where we're seeing most of this activity. I showed you a quick picture from the South Dakota DOT site out there at Spearfish to begin. So the travel is getting a little bit tricky out to the west. So could be some air impacts to travel from Minneapolis and Denver and those hubs in and around the region, as we will see this storm system work its way through. By the way, Kansas City is not in the winter storm or blizzard warned part, but wind is going to be quite a problem, as will be the fire danger, where you see these pink counties here. There is that red flag warning going on and a high fire danger from this windy storm that will be working its way through. So that is a quick look at one model's rendition of the forecast. Now, as we take a look at what we're expecting up here, we're going to zoom into our area. And what you're going to notice is we will have some wind with this particular system, but as far as the precipitation goes, we're going to get lucky, if you want to call it that, but we could sure use the moisture in some parts, as many of you well know. All right, we'll go back to a model run here that goes out just a little bit farther, and the snow showers that we have now working its way through the Black Hills will drift east along and south at east along and through parts of South Dakota. Here's the heavy winds, not concurrent with heavy snow yet, but as we go through the overnight hours towards morning, here is about that 7 a.m. time frame. It's ripping in Iowa, it's ripping in eastern Nebraska down towards places like Omaha and Sioux City, Iowa, maybe close to Sioux Falls, and the I-90 corridor in southern Minnesota also could see heavy impacts as this system crosses the I-35 corridor. There will be icing, the best chance of that, extreme southern Minnesota and into Iowa. Southeastern Minnesota will have a chance at that, as well as central parts of the state of Wisconsin out there. So again, that's what we're looking at with regards to this specific system. Temperatures up here in the northern plains will take a little bit of a setback, but not too bad, as we'll have a cool pool of air settling down into the region. Now, taking a quick peek at this model's rendition of how much snow potential that there is with this particular system, let's go ahead and take a look at that and the icing. And this is through the next 48 hours. So there'll be a narrow band, as I've been talking about, south of the Twin Cities, in towards Rochester, and in towards north central and western parts of the state of Iowa. Will have that 3 to 8 plus inch area of snow. On the edge of the heavy snow is where we could see some significant, maybe even up to a half inch or 3/4 of an inch of sleet and freezing drizzle. So that is what's heading into the Central Plains states as we go through. I want to thank each and every one of you for uploading your photos at hutchesweather.com. It's a great location to share with Hutch and the rest of us what you're seeing when it comes to weather in your neighborhood. So nature photos, weather photos, and videos can all be uploaded here on Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. If you are a traveler and you are heading down south towards Sioux Falls beginning tonight and throughout the entirety of your day on Wednesday, if you are traveling to southern Minnesota areas south of the cities or into central Wisconsin, beware. Blizzard warnings and winter storm warnings will cross your path and there could be impacts. You could get the latest snow amounts, but also the latest road conditions in numerous states right here around our region. And all of those forecasts are available to you right here by clicking on that road conditions link. You're going to get a list of states and provinces in Canada, and you can take a look at what's going on in Iowa, Minnesota, also all the way down into Nebraska, Colorado, as well as South Dakota. So no matter where you're traveling in this region, hutchesweather.com has the latest for you. For now, that's a look at your weather. Let me see if I have any of your questions to boot before we get going into our early evening. Hello, Brad from Cullum 36. Yes, it feels a little bit cooler indeed across the region. You're welcome, Donna, and I thank you for watching. Rita, thanks for watching from Bemidji, or Bemidji, as we call it sometimes during the year. That's a quick look at your forecast. Again, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Get the latest, and also thanks to all of you who have clicked the follow button on Facebook. Now over 60,000 of you are followers of Hutch's Weather. Keep it going, keep it growing. Also, please subscribe on my YouTube channel, Hutch's Weather. Have a great evening, and I'll be back with the late night update as we look a little closer on snow impacts and the extended forecast.